from RF Smart. This is Taking Inventory, a podcast all about better controlling your supply chain and improving inventory management. And now, your host, Sarah Archer.
Hello, welcome to Taking Inventory with RF Smart. My name is Sarah Archer. I am your host, and today I am joined by two of my fellow RF Smart co-workers. We've got Rachel Pugliese and Pete Pinella here. We're going to talk about how RF Smart's philanthropy goals, how we work together with our customers to make an impact in our world. And so this is really important to our company culture. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Make sure you stay until the end because we are going to leave you with some tips about how you can implement this in your own business. So we'll give some advice, we'll give some lessons learned, but make sure that you stay till the end for that. Before we do that, I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves. So Rachel, will you go first?
So my name is Rachel Pugliese, and I'm the Health and Wellness Coordinator for RF Smart. And in my role, I get to oversee and take care of our employees' overall well-being, as well as coordinate all of our volunteer events. I just love getting to connect with all of our employees and see what kind of impact our wellness program has on each of their lives.
And Rachel does an amazing job. We're going to hear about all of the things that she was able to coordinate this year and what she's got coming up for next year. I'm really excited about that announcement. Pete, what about you?
Yeah, well, thanks for having us this morning. We are really excited. This is something that is near and dear to our heart. I'm the Vice President of Human Resources here at RF Smart. My job activities are really centered around talent, people, attracting talent, retaining talent, developing people. And I'm really excited that we have the opportunity to really impact lives at RF Smart. And I get an opportunity to work with senior leadership to build a people strategy that aligns with their business objectives.
Let's get started with our topic for today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about philanthropy. So for those of you listening, you know that RF Smart provides a leading WMS solution, but you may not know about our philanthropy goals and some of the things that we do in our communities and globally. And we're committed to transforming our customers. We're going to talk about that as well. But we are also committed to changing lives. And so this philanthropy goal is a really good, tangible example of what that looks like. And so, Rachel, why do we have a philanthropy goal at RF Smart?
So we have this philanthropy goal because we really want to live out our values and mission as a company to transform customers and change lives. So that goes much further than just our customers and our employees, but we also want to make an impact in our communities as well, by making a positive change.
And Pete, from the HR perspective, why is this goal so important?
Yeah, I think, Sarah, this is becoming more and more important for job seekers. It's becoming more important for our customers, aligning with an organization that is seeking a purpose and going after something that's going to really impact the world and tackling something like hunger or whatever it would be. You know, I think it was a recent Deloitte study that came out and said millennials were twice as likely to rate their corporate culture as very positive if their company participated in workplace volunteer activities. So that speaks volumes. And then lastly, I would just point out that employees are measuring the success of their careers in the businesses they work for, not only on advancement opportunities, which are extremely important, but also the positive impact they have on the world as an organization and how they can be part of that.
That is so powerful, that idea that people are really basing what their success is off of the impact that they have. And of course, at RF Smart, we provide a lot of opportunities to do that. So Rachel, what are some of those opportunities? What are some of the philanthropy projects we have done in the past?
So we've done a variety of opportunities with volunteer activities in the past that have ranged from different charities and organizations, but specifically in Florida, we've worked with Habitat for Humanity. We've built houses before. We've done Salvation Army's Angel Tree program, and we continue to do that as well. But specifically this year, we've worked with Hunger Fight, Feeding Northeast Florida, and UCOM Urban Serve Food Pantry. This year during our Wellness Week, we've actually had a food drive, a company-wide food drive for everybody to get involved in. That lasted the entire month, not just the week. And we made this a special food drive. We've done food drives in the past, but this one, RF Smart pledged to match $2 per every item that was donated. So in our Wellness Week food drive, we collected 2,867 items, which means that we were able to donate over $5,000 to Feeding America's Disaster Relief Fund, where we specifically had it go to anyone that was affected from Hurricane Ida. So that was really impactful as well.
Wow. You know what, guys? I have never seen so many many canned goods in my life. They were everywhere.
So many jars of peanut butter.
It was amazing.
But then even outside of our Jacksonville area, we have other opportunities at our Denver office where they've worked with Denver Rescue Mission and Food Bank of the Rockies. And of course, we have our lovely Kansas City remote team that work with Harvesters Community Food Network on a monthly basis as well. We really try to make an opportunity for everyone that's a part of our company. And because we're global, we have even had some international employees get involved with our program as well. So in the past, we've had an employee out in our UK office join in with Simon in the Streets to raise awareness for homelessness. And so he slept out on the streets for the night with the organization.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. We take it really seriously here with offering opportunities for everybody to get involved. And everyone's just great about taking those opportunities and running with them. And actually, during our Wellness Week, we held an in-office meal packing event where we packed over 15,000 meals with Rise Against Hunger that were distributed globally, also just in line with our global mission and global impact.
I want to talk about our goals because we set these really specific and measurable goals in order to accomplish our philanthropy at RF Smart. And so, what are some of the goals we had this year? And Rachel, I would love to know about some of the goals that we have coming up for next year also.
Drum roll.
So this year, we have been specifically focusing in on fighting hunger together as a company. We figured that having a specific scope would actually create a bigger impact in that one area rather than having a little bit of impact in various areas. So it's been a really successful year so far. We've had a corporate goal of reaching 1,000 volunteer hours, and I'm happy to say that we are definitely on track to meet that goal by the end of this year.
That's so exciting.
And then we also want to make sure that we're contributing monetarily when we can as well. So we have a goal of reaching $25,000 worth of donations towards hunger organizations specifically. And then the cool thing about this is that RF Smart is actually going to dollar for dollar match each donation.
Wow.
So when you make a donation, RF Smart will specifically make their dollar for dollar match towards that organization you specifically donated to. So you're making double the impact. Overall, between our employees and our company match, we're trying to reach $50,000 worth of donations towards hunger organizations.
And Pete, for you as the VP, as you're leading this team, how are you guys setting those goals? Where do those numbers come from?
Well, I first need to give a little credit to Rachel and all of our team members, right? Rachel's the most positive person I know. And so when we look at these goals and we set these goals, she's all about achieving those numbers. But really what it comes down to is, so we as an executive team sit down and review our current year and where we're at, as well as we want to make sure it's a stretch goal too, right? We want to push ourselves to do even more and do more to help kind of create a positive impact within our community. So the 1,000 number just seemed like, hey, look, we've got this. We can make this happen. There's obviously the challenges with COVID that we continue to see, and we work through those, so absolutely.
Yeah. And so Rachel, then that was 2021. What is coming up for 2022? What can our customers expect to see from RF Smart?
Yes, so we're really excited for 2022 because this year we're not only going to continue to fight hunger together, but we're looking to widen the scope a little bit more by focusing in on impoverished communities as well. So we're going to try to bridge the gap with food insecurity, homelessness, any supplies that might be needed. We're going to try to care for a wider scope of people this year.
You said this year our volunteer hours, we were aiming for 1,000. We're on track to hit. What are the goals for 2022?
Next year, we're looking to keep the 1,000-hour goals, but we also want to make sure that we're trying to exceed and push the envelope. So hopefully we'll continue to keep that momentum going into 2022, but we are shaping the monetary donation goal a little bit. And by a little, I kind of mean a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of $50,000 being our complete goal with the match and employee donations, we're going to have a goal of $100,000 for the year. So that means $50,000 of donations from our employees matched by RF Smart, which is pretty incredible.
That is so incredible. Guys, we've talked a lot about some of the opportunities that are coming up. I want to talk about why this matters for our customers who are listening to the podcast today. And I think that the most obvious question to ask here is when we do these events, who comes to them?
This is really a cool aspect of it, right? We get to see our in many cases, our clients and our partners participate in these events, which is just really neat because, taking out the day-to-day business relationship, now they see a different side of the company and what we do and how we contribute to the community. So I find that very impressive that our clients do come out and do participate in these as well.
So neat too that we have these goals as a company, but our customers and our partners are a part of contributing to those goals and being a part of that community. I think that really just speaks volumes. So Rachel, I know that at Our Smart we believe that volunteering is changing the lives of our customers. It's also changing the lives of the people that work for us. And so I know that you brought some stories to share. So tell us, where do these stories come from, and share them with us.
Sure. So at the end of each volunteer event that we have, we ask that employees will fill out a quick survey. There's a question at the end of the survey that asks, do you have any stories or any statements about how this impacted you today? And so a few stories that I gained from this survey have been really impactful to see how it's brought families together and bringing different stories into the light. One of the stories that was given to me stated, "This was the first time my son has ever done anything like this that he can remember, and it opened the door for a meaningful conversation this weekend about why we needed to pack food for others and that not everyone had a home and food to eat each day." So these types of impactful conversations that our employees are having with their children, we're currently shaping even the generations to come of where our focus is at, to keep our focus not just on ourselves but on others as well. How can we make that positive impact?
That is so powerful. And I love one of the things, I don't think we've mentioned this yet, but when we do these volunteer events, people's families are welcome to come and join in. And it's so fun to see the little kids come in. I know that we have some team members who this is like a family tradition for them. They all come out and do this. That's so special that not only are we creating, these memories within our own company, but for families as well.
Yes.
Do you have another story to share?
Yeah, so some of the feedback that I've received after volunteer events truly talks about even how they're personally impacted by these events we have even during the work days. So that is something that we offer. We'll have events from time to time held during office hours so that we really encourage people to come in, take time out of their day to focus on others. And so one comment that somebody has left on the survey says, "I find service to others to be deeply motivating. I look for ways to serve as often as possible. I really appreciate that this was made possible during my workday and that the organization that I work for prioritizes making our world better. So not only was I able to serve others, but my employees also served my needs." Incredible. And it really is a give and take. So as we are serving others, we get a little bit out of that as well. That's sort of why this whole volunteer initiative falls under health and wellness. There's a percentage of it as we're giving back that we feel kind of good about it as we're doing those events and volunteering for others.
Well, I think there's a saying, right? Like when you help others, you can't help but help yourself. I tell friends of mine who don't work at RF Smart all the time about the kinds of things that we're doing, and they can't believe it. Mm-hmm. They can't believe that this is a part of our work day or something. Like, it's crazy because this is kind of unusual. Pete, for you as VP of HR, this is an initiative underneath you. Why do you think that this is so important to our company? But then you've worked at other organizations. What have you observed overall? Is this something that other companies do?
I would say other organizations I've worked at, it is a priority. However, what's very heartwarming for me here at RF Smart is the involvement. Leaders create space. If they have a staff meeting, they're going to say, "Hey, look, we're going to cancel that staff meeting and we're going to do Meals on Wheels," right? As an example. So creating that space and being involved, leading from the top, I think is extremely important. But yeah, there's not an event that we don't have where it's packed wall to wall. And we have folks that will be like, "Okay, well, if I can't make it this time, I'd love to be on the next one." Rachel helps work with them and set up another event. So it's just really, really moving when you see everybody get involved the way they do here.
So why do you think that is? What's the secret to getting those employees engaged and wanting to participate? I know for me personally, it's really fun. We have a really good time. And there's almost a little bit of FOMO. Like, I don't want to miss out on the fun volunteer activity. And of course, the impact that it has on my life and the life of others. But what is that secret?
I think it's built into our DNA within our mission and our values. We're here changing lives. And so whatever we can do as an organization come together and make that massive impact, I think we said it earlier, it makes you feel good. And that is extremely important, I believe, for everybody here at RSmart. In addition to that, I would say it's a great opportunity for team building. Right? We had a food packing event, and I was matched with 3 or 4 individuals I don't talk to a whole lot during the day, and I had a blast. I got to know more about their role. I got to know more about them as a person. And now, if I'm getting coffee, I'll sit and maybe have a chat with them for a couple of minutes and just catch up. So it's a great opportunity to build that team aspect.
Pete, you mentioned that kind of top-down aspect. Rachel, as the person leading this initiative, what does having that buy-in from leadership mean to you?
It means the world. When people see that the leadership team, they're actively making time in their own schedules to volunteer and engage in these events, it motivates everybody else to want to get involved as well. And it gives them space for freedom to engage in these opportunities as well. They don't feel guilty about missing time at work because they know that their managers and leadership team, not only do they encourage them, but they are right there with them in the midst of it as well. And I would say that that's across the board.
So for those of you listening, if you're thinking, well, I really want to do this and I really want to get my team engaged, the 3 things I'm taking away from this really are providing opportunities during the day, making it a team building activity, and then also having that buy-in from leadership. If you as a leader are supporting this activity, the people on your team are going to absolutely be involved and be excited about it. So guys, as we're kind of wrapping it up for today, our customers are the people who are listening to this podcast, and they're probably like, well, that's all well and good for your company, but what about for me? So why should our customers care that we do this?
I mean, it speaks to our character of our employees. If we're taking time out of our work days and out of our weekends to go care for others, odds are you're probably going to experience that during implementation with us. Our teammates care about each other and they care about you. So if you're looking for that personalized experience where you feel cared for and not just another number, I think that this is living proof that we'll do it.
And it's you said this before, Rachel, but it speaks to our values as a company. One of our values is we have your back. Mm-hmm. And I just think about if you see that we are smart, we have the back of our community. It's not even just us at work, but of our community, of our fellow, neighbors or whoever that we are able to take care of. We have your back and we've got their back as well. Pete, what about you? Why do you think that our customers should care?
Well, I think philanthropy efforts contribute to just more than us, right? It's about our community and how we make an impact to serve others around the world in those efforts. So through finding and providing opportunities to volunteer as a company with our customers and partners, we're united behind a common mission in creating space where our customers and partners can feel like they belong to something and they're creating something that extends past our day-to-day tasks and worries.
I mean, guys, we've covered a lot of ground here today. If you have a customer and they said, hey, what's one piece of advice for getting this started at my company? What would that advice be?
It's a great question. I would say focus on a single goal to start. You can expand on that, but really put focus on a single cause that you want to back. Get engaged, get your team members involved in every aspect, and provide frequent updates and celebrate the successes. When we hit 1,000 hours, I don't know what we'll do, but I'll plan on running around the office or something and hitting our match donation goal as well.
I think you're so right. It doesn't stop when you just hit it. You have to celebrate that and remind everyone that this is really important. Rachel, what about you? What closing advice do you have for our customers?
I would say pick something that means a lot to you. When you're passionate about whatever you're working towards, it's going to come naturally to you. And if it's important to you, it'll be important to your employees. And through that, create opportunities for them to go and engage with this community. It's just super important to make sure that we're, again, outward focus facing and give people the opportunity to get their families involved. I know that it's really busy all the time for everybody. We always have a million things to do on our checklist. But if you give them the opportunity during the workday or even not during the workday, maybe it's a weekend and you invite their families to come with them, they'll more than likely want to come join and share that experience with their family members as well.
So definitely setting the small goals, celebrating them when you hit them, and then making sure that it's a family affair and making sure that people really can buy in and be really involved. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I think that philanthropy and this effort that we have at RF Smart is one of my favorite things about working there. So thank you guys for being here. For those of you listening, go ahead and subscribe while you're here. You're able to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, and then also at our website, rfsmart.com/podcast. If you're a customer who's listening and you're like, man, I'd really like to talk more about this and how we can do this in our business or how we can partner with RF Smart, go ahead. You can shoot us an email, info@rfsmart.com. We'll get you connected with the right people so we can either plan something with you or we can even just talk to you about the ways that we're implementing this in our business and help you get started with yours. Thanks guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you again soon.